Welcome, dear Overwatch players. Let me know if I should put my commenting over the aspects I state, but it's time to make you people understand the beauty that Blizzard has created, and that is Tank Doomfist. His strengths are apparent. He can fly really high with a combination of two button presses, in any order, mind you, and his new punch now can hit multiple people. In cost, his damage has been reduced, and his health has been buffed. And now he has a defensive ability that can survive the majority of damage thrown at him, with the benefit of him getting an upgrade to his punch. As you can see, he is way different than his DPS counterpart. But is he better? Overwatch Players 2022. Let's talk about how he's better than his DPS counterpart. First, he no longer has to rely on the environment to get kills. Every time he needed to survive as his DPS version, he needed to get behind a wall or get lucky enough for everyone to be lined up for his slam uppercut combo, which, gave him all shields. The joke is, this is super easy to counter, and how situation it is to get value. Just look at Get Quaked On's channel, and you'll see how many times his routes has failed. Because let's be honest, it's a long list that can fill up every space in an Overwatch map. So this shows how easy it is to counter, and just for potentially 175 damage against the entire enemy team. And his uppercut is limited in terms of height, and completely relied on the environment to get out. On top of this, Get Quaked On used to do this stall strategy on top of his high ground, which is not useful to the team and wastes your own time being patient enough to even use that 125 slam from those high spots. And, the uppercut's entire functionality did not have enough to save him. And to get damage out of it, 80% of the time, you really need to use slam. And, his entire ability tree was needed in order to secure kills at the same points, leaving him with his full shotgun and no ways to dash behind cover. And his old punch is also weak as well, because all it did was big damage to one target, essentially the same functionality as his hand cannon, except more environment dependent. Which is why Get Quaked On only used it for getting to high grounds, which he still has as a tank, and blessed the devs for keeping this on him. Now let's compare this to Tank Doom's new abilities. Seismic Shock, which my boy now says after he bonks the ground. It can now land with the benefit of damaging a huge amount of enemies and making them even tankier. It can also be used to get in and out of fights without using the environment, essentially being able to get to any teammate who may need assistance. It can also be used to travel really far with the combination of his punch. The reason why he doesn't need buffs is that people are not able to kill you when you need to get out of a fight when your team is losing. All because of how versatile this movement can be. The skill is no longer in the environment and can now be applied in battle at any time, making Doomfist part of any battle in an instant. His punch is great in unison of his hand cannon, in which his hand cannon is amazing for burst damage, as it's a full auto shotgun with a rechargeable ammo. And now that it recharges much faster, this is the best damage buff he has received, and very viable to unlock all four to secure a kill. He has damage comparable to the other projectiles in the game. Getting headshots with his hand cannon is very similar to Reaper's damage and can melt tank bars very quickly. Of course, you need to aim skill. You need aim skill now compared to before. And let's talk about why his punch is much better. First, it's because it can hit multiple people, this giving more shields depending on how and where you hit your enemies. Then comes the fact that he interrupts most heroes' abilities, thus making it a skill issue to either charge it or to hit someone at close range to quickly interrupt someone close to you. Then his 3-second cooldown means there will always be a chance you can use it in multiple times in a battle, and in a variety of ways. The most fun way to knock someone out of their own flow of combat, and shower them with the hand cannon. I don't understand why he needs more damage with his gauntlet if knocking people out of their own course of damage is enough to protect you and your allies, which makes landing this punch way more important than securing a kill with a wall, which was his old ability. I think he can legitimately level a skyscraper after multiple punches, instead of leveling a pole streetlight in the DPS incarnation. With all these aspects, I bet I can understand why these changes feel much more useful in a team environment. I think his power block has been perfectly implemented. It requires thought to get use out of it. I think it's fair to have people counter it because we as Doomfist already have the ability to fling ourselves around the map. Does Doomfist really need to have a really powerful defensive ability to make him even harder to kill? If we can already use our mobility to get out of the fight, then why does he need to block to make Doomfist invincible? It already makes his punch upgrade for knocking everyone that is grouped up out of their combat flow in a team fight, giving openings to your DPS to unload, and Doomfist has options to get powered up punch ready for another engagement. So all of you people crying for his power block to be better is going to make him actually busted and obnoxious to fight. In terms of gaming, it's good not to make things brain dead and make it a skill reward aspect. Power Block is perfect for using when teams rain you with damage, and when you can soak up damage as your slam can come off cooldown, and you can return to your team with a powered up punch ready to create openings. I don't understand why he needs anything if stronger if Doomfist is already capable of escaping tough situations with his punch and slam, and now has the ability to use enemies' damage against them and survive at the same time. Even Power Block can be disruptive. Most enemies question whether it's a good idea to shoot it or to defeat Doomfist or make him stronger, and it makes it much easier to get his shield generating abilities back. All of his abilities can be perfected with optimal usage. This is why I say it's great in combination with team compositions. Now, his ultimate, in my opinion, is also awesome. Compared to others, he can use it no matter what situation he's in. At any time, he can get his abilities back, slow down his foes, and give him a fat position advantage. It's not about what it does in terms of, hitting people. It's the fact that you can use it in the worst scenario possible and combine it immediately after usage with a slam and punch to do some serious damage. I'm thinking no matter which variation between his tank or DPS version, its usage is very fun and works really well with Doomfist's playstyle. In my opinion, this is why Tank Doom is way better than DPS Doom in every single way. I just want you to understand that I'm coming for those false takes. Now, I've seen these funny videos crying for buffs, specifically people in the comment sections, and most of the time, it's people whining about his damage. Now, do we need to see that every time they don't secure kills? It's either because they are bad or they're not playing with their team. Now, you people want to know why I don't like Overwatch's core gameplay? It's because I have to rely on a team to win. Oh, smart Doomfist fans. Name a hero that can take on an entire enemy team. Oh yeah, there isn't any, or else that is the literal definition of overpowered. And in Doomfist's case, he can leap in like the Flash and knock a ton of people out of battle in the span of 2 seconds and secure kills with his full-auto shotgun. Do it with this insane way of fighting his own enemies. Weaknesses to him are the best way to balance them so he doesn't become the hero who can destroy enemy teams. That is the definition of balance. This concept can be applied to every play made by a Doomfist player. More damage means Doomfist can destroy enemy teams and doesn't need a team himself. It wouldn't be fair for Doomfist to destroy a team while every other hero in the game should back out when their team is losing. To all of you people that want damage buffs on him and melt people even faster, as his shotgun can already do a maximum of 400 damage if all headshots are landed. Can you annoying and whining people please understand that his strengths have been amplified to the best he's ever had it and doesn't need to have damage to counter team compositions? And I'm talking to all of you Overwatch people who thinks he needs buffs. Open your minds and actually try to apply these strengths I've listed. And you people don't even try to understand what the devs are going for. Just thinking without damage, he has no functions at all. I'm sure Blizzard saw the amount of Doom parkour maps out there and realized getting rid of his mobility would ruin his identity and core aspects. But if people cry harder, they can easily change that for more damage. So just realize you people should take advantage of his movement rather than whine that he isn't impactful. This next section is for people that love the skill that is DPS Doom. I'm in the Doomfist Parkour Discord to learn that Minecraft actually had a mod in 12.2 that gives you exactly DPS Doom and in the open world of Minecraft. So now you can make the most fun parkour maps ever based off the balance of Doomfist. I do realize skill parkour aspects of Doom did kind of die in Overwatch 1 in a way, but I'm sure Warp Shot can also bring back DPS Doom with his uppercut plus slam, because, it's still fun to do. I can rationalize with you guys. But I'm certain Tank Doom parkour is possible, and we should not exclude it just because the bias DPS Doom has, because, there's a lot. So overall, this bias that I see in a lot of comment sections will create another Roadhog, which we do not need, thus making people not Doomfist fans. Now, if people are going to leave comments opposing me, make sure it's a design philosophy that is more fun and viable and more balanced than what Blizzard created. I hope all you people who think Doomfist is bad can be silenced. It's not having a good impression in the slightest, and the last thing the devs need is more work. One final remark. If you people really want me to provide examples, I will have a compilation proof my point, upgrading buffing my video from DPS Doom to Tank.